Manor Lord 6 broadcasting. Manor Lord 6 broadcasting as instructed. Can I receive a confirmation of a 5 by not be here with us this evening and has sent me in his place. I am only 6 of many. We are many. What is happening tonight is a complete audit of the Manor Lord's network and connections. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to an individual known as HVPS and an individual known as the Roaming Prepper. We have a fourth guest who may or may not be joining us. Subpoenaed he was, but will he show for it? We do not know. I have brought these gentlemen here tonight for a reason. I face many problems on the manor. I am surrounded by okey-doke Jethro hill people whose idea of prepping is to go to the store, buy all the toilet paper, all the milk, and then I guess drink all the milk and use all the toilet paper. And this is good enough. What I have decided is that on the Lord's Manor, there cannot be this illiterate peasantry who has no idea what actually is necessary for a so-called SHTF scenario. I have assembled the finest group of experts to actually audit my operation and point me in the right direction as to how to properly manage the estate with tried and true methods, as well as perhaps cutting edge ones. I'd like to introduce you to the man who is on my left. You are right. HVPS, allegedly. Why don't you tell us your specialty and why you think I may have brought you here?
Prepping, survival, building, networking, communications, I guess. Kind of my wheelhouse. I don't know. Maybe you want the peasantry to survive, or you want them to be more prepared.
What I want to do is rely less on them.
So you want to be more self-reliant. You're looking for self-reliance. I think I can help you out a little bit there. Self-reliance.
What I realize is I find myself in a position where, because I live in the big house and I have all the Mr. I own everything, but I don't actually know how to do anything. They all do. They're not good at it, though. They're not.
There's a lot to cover.
There is.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do
Manor
is,
Lord 6.
And yes, and we'll get to that after we make our introductions. And also the gentleman down here. This is the alleged quote unquote roaming prepper. Also, he even wrote a book under the name, I believe, Pete Augustine, if that is not mistaken.
Couple of books.
We have a bona fide author, so if someone has wrote a book, they're automatically put into this expert category. So I'm doing pretty good here. Gentlemen, I got a couple of actually real life issues. Now, I've noticed that what the Okadokes and Jethros around here do is they stockpile ammo as if they're going to eat it. They stockpile toilet paper, again, I guess as if they're going to eat it. And I wondered to myself that I thought that there was some things that were going to be left out of their thinking. And one of them that came directly to mind was laundry. You wash your clothes. And it's got me down the path of mundane tasks that people kind of throw by the wayside. Like they're very worried about. They have their mil spec stuff and their freeze dried food and their ammunition. But how do you intend to wash your clothing, or do you intend to just stink like nature, which if you're a lone wolf type, I suppose that might work for you. But if you're in any kind of community, that's going to get old for everyone but you really quick. What do we think, gentlemen?
So are we talking laundry with the grid available, or are we talking laundry
with the grid unavailable, unless you have constructed something of your own?
I would say you're going to have to pack up your laundry and take a walk down to the Manor's Creek and find yourself a couple of good clean rocks and bring your soap with you, and you'll have to wash and rinse your clothes down there in the stream, and then hang them to dry in a sunny, breezy place. Quite laborious, but pretty mundane. That's running water.
I will sideline the conversation long enough to let my brother below me here introduce himself. Mr. Preparedness, did you catch the intro to this video at all?
I did not, and I watched the replay due to the fact that the interwebs don't like me today.
I am not the one you know as the Livingston Man. I am a stand-in. Security lapses and threats being what they are, he has chosen not to join us this evening. He has sent me in his place to conduct a security audit.
I appreciate that, and thank you for keeping my security in mind.
Of course. And you are the one I wanted to speak to about a specific topic. I have one for each of you, but of course, all of the Lord's questions are for the group. We're here now. I had just posed the question, Mr. Preparedness, of what there are so many people who stockpile ammo and do all the basic your typical prepper stuff, but are they thinking about how are they going to wash their stank ass underwear?
They better be.
What's I guess then, since spotlight's on you, let's go with it. Mr. Preparedness, how do you intend to wash your clothing in an off-grid SHTF scenario?
Well, considering we do prep what we consider other water, 5-gallon bucket with a lid and a hole in it and a plunger does wonders. Or you could create a spinning basket in it as well. But you gotta, keep the mud butt to a minimum. So if not, as I heard my brother from another mother talk about, you got to walk down to the creek, bang it on some rocks and hang it out to dry.
Well, that's 2 out of 3 that said to bang it on some rocks in the creek and hang it out to dry. Mr. Prepper in the lower right corner.
So we home make our laundry soap, and we do it in bulk. So every few weeks we will make upwards of 40 pounds of laundry soap and store it about the house. We do also prep, as Vision points out, other water for general purpose. But with the soap, we can, because it's homemade, we can use it with minimal water in a bucket and then rub it either across the old washing tablet, if you guys remember what I'm talking about.
The old washboards, right?
The washboard, yes.
We have one. Yep.
The Okey-dokes and Jethros, they play them as like musical instruments. You can hear it like in the hills when you go outside around here. It's disgusting.
I tried to get that in the Wednesday theme song, but it just didn't work out.
No, it's a very harsh sound.
Yeah, the washboard.
It tends to attract yetis and other things. It's just awful. You'll bring a chupacabra to your yard here. You just don't need to play that as a musical instrument. But we would use that. You also can use clean sand if you need to simply get rid of critters. Of course, you don't want it smelling too nice because you will stand out depending on what environment you're on. But cleaning you can do with minimal water if you home make your soap, and a bucket, as Vision said, a plunger, or even your hands, and then hang it out in the yard. And we have plenty of sun in my part of the world.
Very interesting. The hypothesis and general agreement would seem to be wash your stankin' ass laundry.
Yes.
By any means necessary.
Yes, please.
I've read that you can even go so minimalistic as, just to take your clothes off, turn them inside out, shake them off, and let them dry in the sun. Again, like that sunlight is a natural, free disinfectant, UV, a lot of stuff that like UV light.
Very true.
Now, I have specific instructions for both of you. My research in given this mission has indicated that each of you, in fact, has like certain specialties. Mr. Vision Preparedness has been identified as a solar power bank expert, someone that can speak on the experience of perhaps restoring electricity to a, judging by the amount of equipment behind him, region that does not have it. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival has been identified as a sort of all-around prepper, but also he would seem to be inclined to a sportsman type of lifestyle. He knows how to fish and hunt, work the land, so to speak, and live off it, feed off of it. And the roaming prepper is your absolute wild card. Not only is he ex-military, he travels very often. He puts the out in bug out, and is also a, how do I use this word, firearms enthusiast. So, again, I do believe that I have assembled the best board of directors possible to help me through an interesting period on the manor. Now, I have questions for each of you, although any of you are welcome to chime in at any time. First of all, that would be Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. I have a problem with the local okey-dokes slaughtering anything with fur or feathers. What happens is they pull the wings and shoulders off of them, and I have carcasses stacked up around the manor. They don't know what to do with what they have harvested, and their attitude is entirely contrary to the idea of conservation. They're simply killing anything they think they can eat. What would you do to put a stop to this? How would you educate them? What would you say?
Oh, how do you put a stop to?
And less of how do you put a stop to it, but what is the proper way to go about, and especially in terms of wildlife conservation? If you have a food source, you need to sustain it. These people don't. These hill people are just hungry and are freaking out.
If without proper wildlife management, wildlife doesn't last too long, or it can be extremely detrimental to the environment in which it's in once it's overpopulated, right? Especially depending the species of animal that's overpopulated. Too many rabbits and you have a lot of problems on the ground, too many deer, and there's no foliage on the forest floor, which can lead to drying out and forest fires and things like that. So it's important to manage the herds and the flocks properly. I would say allow all of the migratory bird hunting that they want. Okay, migratory birds come from elsewhere and they're just passing through. So they're not something that would be on the manor all the time. So I would open migratory bird season to them all the time, and then perhaps put on a few clinics on how to properly process fowl, chickens, ducks, geese, things like that, turkeys even, and then a proper butchering class for any of the red meat that they would come across, wild hogs or rabbits or squirrels or anything like that. Education is the best weapon that you have against things like that, and actually getting out there and doing it, not just reading about it or talking about it, but get out there and do something, go out there and get your hands dirty. But
where could some of these hill people like congregate and actually like learn how to do this properly and get a license? Perhaps I mean that's me to give them, but I want them.
Well, any kind of game club or gun club should promote things like that. You know, I don't know that they all do, but hopefully locally they do.
I assume there's like sort of there must be some kind of hunter safety course.
Oh, but of course, yeah. You got to start with the basics there. Get licensed. Take a hunter safety course. Learn about the game that you're planning on hunting. Everything that you can about what you're after. Right. I'm a big proponent of educate yourself as much as possible before you go afield. Research your maps and things like that. Know where you're going. Know where bedding areas would be, and game trails might be, and water might be, hazards might be before you go out there. Bring a compass and plan your route. Bring a map, preferably one that's waterproof, and get out there and go, man. Licensing, hunter safety course. These are all ways that you can stop everybody from going out and just slaughtering whatever they see. Laws do help deter people. People don't want to get in trouble. They can't afford to pay fines and fees, so they opt not to go and break those laws. It helps to manage the wildlife. And then having responsible hunters and fishermen and trappers and things like that out there educating the rest of the population on how to do things the right way is super beneficial. Super beneficial.
Excuse me, I have to take this. 6. How much garbage did he dump? Then crucify him. I told you there is no exceptions. Littering is a capital offense. Make an example. Excellent point, Michael. Thank you. Vision preparedness. I have a question for you. I have sent teams to inspect the meat packing facility in Ohio. Now, the health code violations aside, I appreciate the absolute hustle that is going on there. This would seem to be a bit in line with what Mr. Prepping and Survival is talking about in the upper left right corner there. How are your operations in Ohio going to fare with the grid down scenario? Do you have the power behind you to operate such equipment as to, preserve meats, to keep a food operation going with absolutely no grid?
The equipment behind me, no. But do we have a way? Yes. As we speak, L&V Premium Blend is building a 1.2 million square foot under roof smokehouse. So when and if the grid goes down, our operation doesn't stop. We will have our product smoked and hanging and curing.
When he says 1.2 million feet, he's not talking about a unit of measurement.
Very true. We will go off grid for the storage of such product, but in the meantime, we will have key components of solar generators, solar batteries, solar panels, convertible solar farms that will power the grinding, blending, and mixing equipment.
Now, I was told to ask you this question because what we currently face on the manor are these absolute hill people who have bought themselves a little 600-watt battery bank, but then they're all huddled together and they have air fryers and space heaters plugged into them, and in a grid down power rationing situation, what's the first things to go and what are the things that got to stay on?
Well, the first things that are going to go are the niceties. So if you have, well, first of all, if you're going to buy solar generators and all of that, you need to first understand what it is you need to power and the wattage that such appliance uses. 1 and 2 critical components, and that's it. Add up the total wattage. Then you're going to source a solar generator that can handle that and then some. And you have to keep in mind, you have to have a way to recharge that.
Yes.
And you have to do battery management. You don't drain it to zero, because now it's going to take you a day or two to recharge it. So you have to have solar panels that are comparable, meaning multiples in series or parallel, depending on how you want to do it, that will not only recharge, but recharge it in a timely manner, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. And you plug in an air fryer into a 600-watt solar bank, it's going to fry the solar bank, because I guarantee you that thing needs more than 600 watts just to turn on.
All right. Well, the peasants around here don't really understand science. They were throwing rocks at my solar panels because they think it's magic and I'm the devil and whatever. But let's pivot to Mr. Prepper in the lower right. As ex-military,
That's what you need to know.
Ohm's law. Yep. Has a lot to do with ham radio as well.
these okey-dokes they can barely spell the word law, let alone understand it. All right. So we need to get this way down for everybody. I've seen them. They're good at working the fields. That's about it. We don't ask them their opinions on much because they are barely able to form a sentence, let alone a competent opinion. But Mr. Roaming Prepper, I do have a question specifically for you. And as an ex-military guy, an officer of the LMPD is always looking to learn and expand my tool set. I watched 5 of these okey-dokes try to form a neighborhood watch. And what it was like 3 guys in a rusted pickup truck, and one of them had like granddad's shotgun. The LMPD, of course, did what it had to do. But if you were to work on the manor and I needed a quick reaction force, as a man who travels a lot, is often, I'm not going to say you're off balance, but you're almost, you're often off your home turf. Kind of doctrine tactically are you bringing to the table? What sort of mobile loadout might you be packing for the excursion?
Before you
There's any euphemisms you'd like to use here?
Before you make a trip, you need to know your route and know your destination, because that will dictate a lot of what you bring with you. For example, as an engineer, sometimes I'm in a hard hat, sometimes a suit and tie. Tactical weapons with a suit and tie, although very John Wicky, probably ill-advised. It will freak people out. The environment is not conducive. Discretion, competency with small concealable firearms, something that disappears in the suit or in the overcoat. Out in the woods where, for whatever reason, a coyote, or even worse, a 300-pound feral hog decides to chase my workers away from their location, then you're looking more at something with a little more oomph. But the first thing you do, of course, is maintain a competency. If you don't know how to use the weapon, that weapon will become as dangerous to you as will the threat. Learning the fundamentals of the safety of the use of these devices, if you will, of these protective items, is absolutely paramount. Go to a competent instructor. learn the basic handling, the storage, how to use it, how to aim it. I see people on the range all the time with, say, an AR-15, and they have no optic, no sights. It's just flat. But they want to shoot because now they're John Wick. And that's horrifying. That's typically
Why
when
are all my shots 5 inches low?
There are shots that are lucky if they're in the county. I will very often pack my stuff and leave and go find the range officer and say, we need to talk to those guys. Have competency and also carry legally, because again, as you had to do with the ad hoc militia, if you do not comply, you may attract more trouble than it's worth. So, but
the LMPD's motto is obey and survive.
Yeah, and clearly they did neither.
He said obey and survive.
Not to subjugate and punish. There's another one.
Well, we're not just thugs. We also save cats and do stuff like that.
Well, there you go.
We provide a service. Now, I have many other questions for you, but that was one I thought might be interesting. We don't often delve into the topic of self-defense tools. It's a bit taboo. But on my channel, see, what you get here is sort of a raw, unfiltered thing. There's no monetization or ads or anything. You guys notice? Did you guys notice that? Anybody? It's not by choice. If I could be getting rich off this, I would be. And so would the Manor Lord. But we get to tell the truth, and that's actually worth more to me. I've got more issues I'd like you gentlemen to solve. Now, Mike, we're going to pivot back to you, Mr. Prepping and Survival.
Let's circle back to it.
You are not only a skilled sportsman and very knowledgeable, but you seem to know a whole lot about how you have monopolized the post-apocalyptic internet. Which is,
that I wouldn't say the internet, but
it's an interconnected network. Is it not?
It's a mesh network.
Let's talk about it. Now, this is a way, what Mike has figured out, it's not his invention, but what he is doing is spreading.
I'm harvesting a good idea that some people had.
We have a telecom tech bro right there. He is going to be that. So,
I wouldn't say that. I've bought a lot of the stuff, and I'm still kind of learning it, but I'm putting my money where my mouth is and putting the infrastructure out there and kind of trying to make things happen.
Let me tell you what I saw, all right, on the Manor today. I saw these Jethros climbing a windmill, and they were just wrapping copper wire around it, and they had jammed it into the back of a Wi-Fi router, and they were attempting to steal the signal from the Manor House. So they were immediately busted on, wire fraud charges and every other thing we could trump up on them. But your system that you're championing these days is a little bit different, a little bit more legit. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, no, they're super small devices, some the size of a credit card that you can just you link with Bluetooth to your cell phone, and then it's a texting based app.
What's it called?
Meshtastic. There's another one called Mesh Core, and that one's new, kind of in its infancy. Very few people use Mesh Core, so if you're looking for a little bit more privacy, maybe Mesh Core would be the way you'd want to go. Meshtastic is rapidly growing, and each device acts as a repeater, so messages hop from one device to another until hopefully it reaches its intended recipient. Even if you are not the person intended for the message, if you send it via private channels, it will still hop off other people's devices without them even knowing that it's happening. And that message is just between you and I, or myself and the roaming prepper, myself and Vision Preparedness, or a group chat with all of us, and I can hit send and everybody gets the message.
Yep.
But you are limited to seven hops from the devices before the message will not be delivered to its recipient. The one thing it's not right now is super reliable. It all depends upon your location because it is radio-based text messaging.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it works.
Now, it sounds a little heavy for the average peasant mind to.
So if you had a hunting party, right, and everybody that was out in the hunting party had one of these devices and you were in an area where there was no cellular coverage, you could create your own independent network and be able to communicate with each other via text message and receive notifications. Your phone would go off and tell you had a message and you could check it. Just like if you had regular cell service, just through an app that you have downloaded on your phone that you don't need any access to cellular networks or Wi-Fi to use. You just tap the application and open it up. It's yours now. It's downloaded onto your phone. And the device you own yourself. You can build these things yourself or you can buy them online and just turn them on and use them.
It sounds much more useful than what these okie dokes do around here, which is they open their windows and they just yell at each other. Like I'll be standing on the patio in the morning trying to sip my Nantucket blend coffee fresh from the French press, and you just hear Jethro, Leroy. And of course, then the LMPD has to respond to a noise complaint, and they don't respond well to noise complaints. They're not known to be lenient toward noise offenders. They're not known to be lenient toward anyone. That's their purpose. Well, then, this Mesh-tastic thing sounds like something that anybody who would want a reliable off-grid communications device might want to research and decide what's best for them or not.
Oh, yes. Especially locally. The more localized, the better it works.
Interesting. And I believe on your channel, you kind of did a deep dive into these things.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a video coming out here real soon of a whole setup of a new node that I was sent by Prepper-Co.
The Lord has instructed me to implicitly suggest that every viewer independently research each of these gentlemen's channels as well. Apparently he trusts you, but my job is to make sure he should. You're doing well so far, gentlemen. We're back to the idea. If you are just arriving for this broadcast, what I have been sent here to do is deduce what are the best solutions to some very common problems that we face on the manor, such as lax security or chaotic, thrown together ad hoc militias. We have a problem with the peasants overusing and not rationing their harvested electricity properly. And we have a problem with them indiscriminately killing all of the animals and communicating with each other effectively. What I've done is gathered the three best people I know to address these situations, with an eye towards perhaps hiring them as consultants for Manor Incorporated. I have been instructed to make such a deal if I deem it necessary and beneficial. And at this point, gentlemen, I must say that I do. I believe you have all passed the vetting process.
Well, thank you, Manor Lord 6.
Now, as I understand it, this is some sort of 4 horsemen apocalypse where each of you cosplays as a certain apocalyptic figure. That would leave you, Mr. Survival. I'm going to talk to you again because they say that you're famine. And apparently what you've been doing is hoarding up all of the resources. In terms of the freeze-dried food and the renewable, non-perishable items, would you care to share with the audience what would be the best things to stock up on in terms of those items?
I'll tell you right now, Vision Preparedness has the shirt on. I believe Nutrient Survival is the way to go, packed with vitamins and nutrients. Great food. If you're talking short term, right? If you're not talking super long term, I would go with Peak Refuel. I believe that's the best tasting freeze-dried food that you can get in a Mylar bag. Peak Refuel is absolutely delicious compared to most freeze-dried foods. When you open a thing of Peak Refuel, it looks like food. It doesn't necessarily look like slop. So that's a big benefit to huge morale booster, real meat. But their shelf life on those is only 5 years. So if you're looking longer term, I would 100% go with Nutrient Survival number 10 cans, because those guys have a 25-year shelf life, and that's insurance you can count on for 25 years.
My research indicates that protein alone is not the answer. Now,
correct.
A lot of people do the math for 2,000 calories a day, but when you are washing your laundry, when you are maintaining your solar grid, when you are resetting your Meshtastic nodes, you're burning more like 4,500 calories. What can we do to put some fats and energy into that diet?
I know for a fact, I'm just going to kick this one over to Vision Preparedness, because I know he just did a review video on some incredible freeze-dried product, and I think he should tell you about it, because if you're looking to add protein, this is undoubtedly the way to go. Go ahead, Vision. Let him know it.
The record will show that he has yielded his time to Mr. Preparedness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Carnivalt is freeze-dried meat. They have top sirloin, which is beef. They have chicken breasts, and they have pork. That's it. That's all they do is freeze-dried meat, 100% grown in the USA, made in the USA. It tastes amazing. It is freeze-dried food that is not cooked, so you have to rehydrate it, and then you have to cook it. But it doesn't give you that chewy, hard, it's tastes just like real meat, because it is real meat. And it's packed full of protein because it's 100% beef. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. So you pair that with some amazing Nutrient Survival to get your minerals and all your other vitamins, or some Peak Refuel. You got to have protein, folks, especially if you're going to be out doing the things manually, because the grid is down and it's gone, and we're going to be working extra hard.
Tell you what,
the workers forever complain that they're hungry. We don't particularly care, but they do. It's this constant, we're hungry. And
Vision, I would totally take the 3 beans and rice from Peak Refuel and fry up some of that Carnivalt steak, and just jam that sucker full of it, shake the crap out of it, and go to town.
Yeah,
that would be slamming.
I'll do, Mike. I'll send you some.
Sweet. I'm in.
I'll
just go to the link. I'll buy some. There
you go.
And
I'll buy some.
Code Vision 10 and get 10% off.
See, do it.
Vision.
Hang on, I'm gonna paste
moderators that could drop a link.
Well, there is one. His name is Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and I am working on it, my friend.
Yeah, I grabbed
Vision
the wrong
Preparedness.
Link.
I'd like to ask Mr. Roaming Prepper a question as well, given his expertise as well. I appreciate the two of you sort of bridged a question there. For Mr. Prepper, gun safety on the manor is only existent within the LMPD. The rest of these okie dokes, we let them have them because they're just not good at using them, and we clearly outmatch them. But when we do try to deputize these folks, and sometimes we do need to run up a posse to apprehend a certain anti-renter, what do you do with what sort of there needs to be maintenance in terms of these tools, correct? Whether it is indeed like even an axe or not necessarily a weapon, but a tool, but in certain cases, especially firearms, you can't just tote the thing around and treat it like a shovel. What would your advice be to someone who plans to sort of field carry a self-protection device? What things would you want to have with you in a secondary pocket to keep that thing going?
A couple of things. First of all, a good multi-tool, because sometimes you may have to disassemble something in the field you did not want. You can avoid that most of the time by actually maintaining on a regular basis at the end of shooting events or usage, or if you're just in the field and you do nothing. Goose hunting, for instance, is sometimes in brackish water. You get salt water all over the boat, yourself and your equipment. Tear down, clean up, rem oil, good gun oil. For tools, you mentioned tools, just general purpose tools. A good can of WD-40 works wonders. And I know for a fact it kills wasps in their nest, because I did a video on that. Without fire, by the way. I didn't make a flamethrower out of it. That's generally a bad idea on your house. But regular maintenance.
Operating procedure on the manor, that's what we do.
But not if you have a wooden house. That could be bad. But well, it's also a good way to repel stupid people, I've discovered. But I digress. Regular maintenance, when you're done using anything equipment-wise, whether it is a defensive item or a shovel, clean, brush off any debris, oil, and hang up. Put it where it belongs. And when you're traveling with things that go boom, have proper carrying protocol, a proper holster, a proper rifle sling, so you do not put things down your pants. This is why some of your Billy Bobs will wind up putting a cavern in their butt cheek, is because they stuff something down their pants they shouldn't have put there. So proper equipment.
1 in 5 men on the Livingston Man are actually missing one or both testicles from said accidents.
But indirectly, this controls the populace.
That was
Say
easy.
the quiet part out loud, please.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, then, as we wrap up this little interview here, I do believe that the test is complete. And I think your resumes are all solid. Your protocols are acceptable to the manor's doctrine.
Thank you.
In essence, the gentlemen have passed the test, and the Lord has authorized me to officially offer you employment in each of your respective fields. What say you?
We'll have to discuss the terms and conditions. I am currently employed by myself.
Yes.
So I definitely would have to talk to my boss about it.
Yeah. I have talked to the COO about it, and sounds good. I appreciate the offer, and I'm pretty sure that we can do something about that. I need to talk to my partner to make sure that there's no conflict of interest in our freeze-dried food business.
Yeah, you don't want to impede your product.
Correct.
He's asking me to ask you if you want him to talk to them.
That's probably not a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
Understood. He respects your decision. Gentlemen, this has been an excellent show. And what I want to do what I've been authorized to do, I should say, is to give the last 10 minutes here to each of you to, again, just rep your channel. Tell them and give us, as Mr. Preparedness said on a live stream once, say something profound. So, starting with the gentleman on my left.
Something profound.
In the vernacular, what do the kids say? Drop some knowledge, son.
All right. World's gone to shit. World's gone to shit. If you are in a position to buy yourself a more fuel efficient vehicle, now is not a bad time. reading the tea leaves, it looks like all this is going to get a whole lot worse. Looking at a picture of the air traffic that's been flowing in and out of the Middle East, this looks like it's going to get a lot worse. So keep preparing. Accelerate your preparedness if possible. The rest of the world is preparing for World War III, and you should be too. And just keep doing the things, man. Do the best you can with what you got where you're at, and improvise, adapt, and overcome. Because every good plan goes to shit as soon as the first calamity hits. So you better be able to think on your feet and make good decisions quickly. Always think in the best interest of your safety and your group's safety, and I think you'll do just fine. You're light years ahead of everybody else. Have faith.
Yes.
Rock and roll. We will continue clockwise, and we'll head to Mr. the Roaming Prepper.
Oh, yes.
Soapbox is yours, brother.
Thank you, sir. Everyone, plan for the fundamentals. Remember, something happens somewhere else. It doesn't hit immediately. It takes time. It takes time for tankers to arrive. It takes time for food to run short. There are a lot of little things. Stay on a budget. Plan. Learn how to preserve food of your own if you cannot afford or cannot find higher end stuff. And adopt a troubleshooting mindset. If you have a setback, don't sit there and panic and become a victim. Instead, ask yourself, how do I get around this? How do I minimize the pain myself or my family feel? Always continually adapt and move. Don't lock in, and definitely don't panic. Don't buy things you don't need. Think about every dollar you spend and get the most bang for your buck.
Adaptability, folks. Needs and wants. My wants list is collecting dust. But my needs list, unfortunately, is getting longer. And we're all on a budget. Don't go charge up the credit cards to get everything you need and want. Stick to the basics, like everybody else has said. Don't panic. Be able to adapt and overcome. Be willing and prepare to pivot. All of our plans aren't going to work 100% all of the time. Okay, so what's plan B, C, D, E? Go down the alphabet. But the most important thing is everything you do will affect somebody else in your family. So think it through. Plan your work and work your plan. That's it.
And don't ever break the number one rule of survival. We don't fucking die.
That's only on Wednesdays.
That's right.
That's true.
And we get an hour on Wednesday, and then we live long, happy lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
For better or worse, everyone alive today has done the greatest job at surviving. Congratulations, or I'm sorry that happened, whichever one works for the person. There's a certain closure, a sort of a comfort, a reassurance that has come over me after having this conversation with you, gentlemen. What we've done is assembled the finest of the finest here. This is what the Manor Incorporated does. Quality, not quantity. We don't buy the 12-pack from Amazon because it was cheap. We curate the 4-piece set because it's actually worth something. What we've done here tonight, gentlemen, is educated the masses in a broad array of things that I hope was tailored to your unique sensibilities. And, well, if you want to call them hobbies or obsessions or whatever. But the Lord, the Manor Lord, not the Lord, the Manor Lord intended that these questions seduce you into joining his ranks. And I think you're all thinking about it. And Vision,
Yes.
I was instructed to remind you that the Manor Lord is in fact aware of the health code violations and the things that are going on in the Ohio facility.
Mm-hmm.
We know our reach is global.
I understand. And
We would hate to have to release the documents, act like we didn't have a part in it, but you know what to do. What I'm saying.
I do.
At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, what you do is you qualitize your network. Your network can be huge, but if you got a bunch of nodes that ain't connecting to nothing, all you're doing is wasting energy. But when you got 4, 5 strong, reliable connections, you can do much more with that than 1,000 useless ones. Versatile though it may seem to be on the surface.
Yep.
Who wants to take us out of here? Do it.
Vision's pointing to the abyss over there. I don't know who he's pointing. The unknown will see us out the door.
Let's take us out of here.
Hit us with some knowledge, Pete.
Yes, please.
Folks, be mindful of what's going on. Fuel, food, it seems like a lot. And then there's people, as Manor Lord 6 points out, you cannot people some days, and that's okay. Find your people, whether it's formal or just close friends, quality people, and plan out, spread it out, don't run up debt, and have a little faith. It's bumpy, but we got this far, so we'll be all right.
Amen, Pete.
Yes, indeed.
What is it? You're still dealing with them. I told you what to do with them. I don't care what you don't want to do. I do things I don't want to do every fucking day. I said do it. Like I said,
good help is hard to find.
I'm not sure it's possible. Incompetent feelings. Gentlemen, myself and the Manor Lord, thank you for your time this evening. As far as I am concerned, you have completely aced your security vetting. You will be allowed to encounter the Manor Lord the next time we meet. His suspicions have been assuaged. Thank all the viewers for showing up this evening. Not sure how many of them there are because I was not trained in how to use this software.
41 currently.
40.
Very good.
It doesn't sound like a huge number to me, but I'll take it. If anyone took anything away from this tonight, is that what you have witnessed here is, again, an actual panel of experts and not some propagandized chicken little fear-mongering from weak, scared people who hide behind computer screens to tell others what to do while they don't live that life themselves. What you have witnessed here is genuine, organic, and real. We appreciate your time, your energy, your effort, and your patience. Manor Lord 6 signing off. Good night.